How's it going, boys, girls, and squirrels? And welcome to Omashu. Azula's tear across the four nations of the Avatar world is what cements this book as the best of the trilogy. This whole season is just Azula on the hunt for the Avatar and just burning a path in her wake. And it's awesome. And we're almost in full swing of it, and it's just the best content in the entire show. There are a lot of standout episodes coming up in this season. I could think of several off the top of my head right now that I'm excited for, so I'm gonna quit stalling, we're gonna get into it.
I can't believe it. I know the war has spread far, but Omashu always seemed untouchable.
Up until now it was.
Oof, reel it in, Sokka. Nobody wants to hear that right now.
This is horrible. But we have to move on.
Oof, reel it in, Katara! It's been like 10 seconds since Aang found out Omashu's been captured, and everybody's like, ugh, are you still hung up about that? Oh god, get over it!
They won't let go! Help! Stop making so much noise.
Aang, the stealth mission's already failed. It's too late to not make a bunch of noise. You're still treating this like a covert mission after that? You might as well have thrown a frag grenade into the city center.
And deadly.
Hey, I think I've heard of Pentapox. Didn't your cousin Chang die of it? We'd better go wash our hands.
Does this guy not know how his own cousin died? Yeah, I think he did die of Pentapox. Either that or he drowned. I don't know, I really fucking hated that guy, though.
If I want to catch my prey, I must be agile, nimble. I need a small, elite team. It's time to visit some old friends.
I like how Azula's small, elite team is Mei and Ty Lee. Not that they aren't incredibly competent, I just think it's funny that the entire Fire Nation army has no adult soldiers capable to help Azula. Although I guess 3 teenage girls is less conspicuous than 2 adults and a teenage girl. But, like, hardly.
Let's find Boomy and get out of here.
Where would they be keeping him?
Somewhere he can't earthbend. Somewhere made of metal.
Pfft, imagine metal being an obstacle for earthbenders. Such simpler times we were living in. I do think that this line is directly to set up Toph metal bending later. Like, I wonder how many times in this season they're gonna mention that metal bending is impossible, leading up until Toph metal bends.
Be happy and enjoy it.
The targets are approaching.
Take them out.
God, I love seeing tactical shit in Avatar. Like, I love anytime this show introduces, like, literal assassins or task forces. I would love to see, like, an Avatar SEAL Team 6 comprised of, like, 6 earthbenders and a bag of pebbles. They're just, like, sneaking through a compound, stealthily taking down targets with rocks. Honestly, Korra kind of does give me that. And that's why season 1 of Korra is like a 10 out of 10 series. Don't even come at me about that in the comments. We'll get to it when we get to Korra. Come on, Aang, what are you doing saving a bunch of firebenders? Oh, what? You don't want to bear witness to a murder? You know how much easier you would have just made your life if you let those rocks hit them? You know what would be kind of cool? Is if later in the show, Mei ends up, like, crippling or killing Sokka. Like, I'm not saying I want Sokka to die or anything, or that his character needs some great tragedy, but it would be cool to look back on this scene and be like, man, if Aang just let those boulders go, all of this disaster could have been prevented. Like, if Mei contributed in some grand atrocity later on, this would be a really cool moment in retrospect. Does Mei just have, like, a full armory under her dress at all times? Like, those were arrows. Those were arrows for a bow. Like, when she goes to bed each night, does she have to take off her dress and, like, shake all the knives out of it?
Ty Lee, could that possibly be you? Azula!
Nice, here comes everybody's middle school sexual awakening. I remember talking to my friends about Ty Lee in, like, 5th grade and being like, I like that she bends, but I don't know why.
But the truth is, I'm really happy here. I mean, my aura has never been pinker.
I'll take your word for it.
Was that a gross joke? I don't want to assume or elaborate because I feel like people will think I'm gross for thinking that that was an adult joke. That's definitely an adult joke, right? Like, to me, that comes off as Azula being like, oh, I don't want to see how pink your aura has gotten, put that away. Also, I feel like I vaguely remember this conversation ending in a super fucked up way. I don't fully remember what's gonna happen, but I've got some weird sneaking suspicion that I'm not gonna like it.
Of course, before I leave, I'm going to catch your show.
Yeah, sure. Of course.
Oh yeah, that's right. I like how even Azula's friends are afraid of her. Like, there's no one in Azula's life who's like, oh, come on, she's not that bad. Even Ty Lee's like, no, she's that bad, I just tolerate it.
And freedom is worth dying for.
Actually, there's another path to freedom. You could leave Omashu.
Aang must be so annoying from an outsider's perspective. This kid's been involved in this war for like a month, and he's just going around like, come on, just let the Fire Nation take over another town, you know? What's one more city? Just stop fighting the Fire Nation, who cares? Like, shut up, who's this twerp telling me to pull my troops out of Omashu? I'm surprised an Earth Kingdom general hasn't had him executed for treason at this point.
I'm pretty sure I've heard of that.
Oh, this is terrible.
What should we do? Drive them out of the city, but don't touch them.
I'd love it if this guy was just like, we have to kill the infected and burn their bodies. We can't let this disease spread to the other Fire Nation colonies. And then after the massacre, Aang's just like, hey, look, I told you this was a dumb idea. All right, I was the one saying we should fight the Fire Nation from the very beginning. Also, it's kind of wild that May, like, has a whole ass family. Like, not wild that she has one, but I completely forgot that they're in the show to begin with. I know Ty Lee has like 8 sisters, but we never see them, or her parents for that matter. Actually, Danny, we see Ty Lee's sister in the theater recap episode. Shut up. It's just crazy that May, like, has a brother who I'm fairly certain doesn't show up in Korra or anything, you know? This kid just starts eating seeds and chokes to death. I just want Aang to stick his nose in a city's business and accidentally fuck it up beyond repair. Not only would that be absolutely hilarious, but it would also genuinely be a good step in his Avatar journey. Like, it would be great if there was one city that he just makes way worse than when he first arrived, and it never gets resolved. Or at the very least, it doesn't get resolved until after the war. Because then it teaches him that even though he might not always succeed in helping people, it's still always worth trying. And he also learns that sometimes people are better off and more capable of handling their own problems. And so then it's like, okay, I have to decide which towns need my help as the Avatar, and which towns are way better off dealing with their situation on their own. Which is a really difficult and heavy decision for anybody to make, let alone a 12-year-old kind of god. Or Aang comes back to this palace and finds Momo's broken neck being hugged by this little toddler. And he's just like, Momo! Why didn't I keep a closer eye on you? That child. That monster. He did this. I'll kill him!
Of course not.
Then wouldn't it make it more interesting if you remove the net?
The thing is, the performers...
I like how this guy's just like, no.
We've got a problem. We just did a head count.
Oh no. Did someone get left behind?
No, we have an extra.
I like how Momo's just like, somebody get this fucking thing off me already! Meanwhile, Aang's just like, oh god, we got a fucking kid, man! This is fucked, man! This shit is fucked!
What an exquisite performance. I can't wait to see how you'll top yourself tomorrow.
I'm sorry, Azula, but unfortunately there won't be a show tomorrow.
Azula's such a psychopath. Like, just ruining this girl's career to make her join the army. What a menace.
But when he's older, he'll join the Fire Nation army. You won't think he's so cute then. He'll be a killer.
Does that look like the face of a killer to you?
My daughter was killed by a man with a face just like that.
You realize we're probably walking right into a trap.
I don't think so. I'm sure the governor wants his son back as much as we want Boomy.
Probably not just as much as you want Boomy, though. Boomy's 112 years old. You're holding the governor's new baby son. I would hope he wants his son back a little more than you want Boomy back. Especially considering you, like, never even see Boomy anymore.
Please tell me you're here to kill me.
Man, they're really running wild with their license to say kill this season.
It's great to see you, May.
I thought you ran off and joined the circus. You said it was your calling.
Well, Azula called a little louder.
Azula threatened you? She killed all the animals at my circus.
The city of New Ozai.
I feel like meeting on top of this wooden scaffolding was a terrible decision on everybody's part. Hey, where should we meet the fire-wielding psychopath for our hostage negotiation? How about Wood City, City of Wood?
We're trading a 2-year-old for a king. A powerful earth-bending king? It just doesn't seem like a fair trade, does it?
It's wild that May goes along with this, considering her baby brother is the one they're trading for. He's wearing 100-year-old traditional airbending robes. He's literally the only person in the world who has access to this outfit. Why does it always take people so long to figure out who he is?
We've got to get the baby out of here.
I like how Katara's just like, fuck it, take the kid!
Hold on, just stop.
This show is so good at coming up with set pieces for action scenes. Like, every major fight takes place in such a creative and memorable location. Dog, you fucking wish! Ladies and gentlemen, meet this show's Asta. I'm so surprised that Ty Lee isn't, like, the cockiest piece of shit in the entire world. If I was able to just go around turning off people's bending, I would be like this universe's Jake Paul. Like, I would be absolutely insufferable. Hey, you dropped your water, bozo, what happened? Go and pick it up. Pick it up, what happened?
You could earthbend? All along?
Well, they didn't cover my face.
Yeah, super weird oversight to this metal coffin, considering like 1 in 2 people are benders in this world.
What's the matter with you, Boomy?
Listen to me, Aang. There are options in fighting called Jing. It's a choice of how you direct your energy.
This is such a weird and random philosophy lore dump. Like, this little intro to Eastern philosophy course comes in so unnaturally.
Neutral Jing is the key to earthbending. It involves listening and waiting for the right moment to strike.
Like, this conversation becomes 20 times more natural if Boomy just said earthbending is all about listening and waiting for the right time to strike. But instead, this whole Jing situation just comes off as the writers being like, oh, look at this cool little Eastern fact we know. And the only reason I'm complaining about it is because, one, like I said, it's crazy unnatural and just sort of comes out of nowhere and comes off as pretentious. And 2, it like never comes up again. If it constantly came up, or came up in several other episodes, and was like more of the basis of bending, it would be excusable. But as far as I remember, it like never does. Maybe it comes up like 1 or 2 more times, but not enough to justify this.
Hey, Momo.
Momo's mastered a few Jings himself.
What was that little crisis Momo just had? What, did Momo just see Boomy in this coffin and thought he was dead? Is Momo smart enough to understand what a coffin is, but not smart enough to get the context surrounding it? Brief episode transition. If you like what you're seeing here and you want to get more content not found anywhere else, make sure you consider subscribing to my Patreon, where you'll get access to exclusive reaction videos each month, on top of access to my exclusive Discord server, and access to all the live streams I've recorded in the past and will record in the future. On top of that, you'll also just be helping out the page a ton and ensuring that I'm able to keep pumping out content as frequently as I do. If all that sounds exciting to you, make sure you check out the link to my Patreon in the description below. And now, on to the next one.
Spare coins for weary travelers?
This is humiliating. We're royalty. These people should be giving us whatever we want.
What a great scenario to put these two characters through. Even though Zuko had been banished from the royal palace for years at this point, he was still treated like royalty on his ship. So I love seeing him go through this like Sharpay Evans phase of being entitled and expecting things to be handed to him.
Here you go.
The coin is appreciated, but not as much as your smile.
What? Put another coin in, you bitch! Did he not earn a second coin? Iroh, take the compliment back. Also, I don't think anyone's ever had that reaction when giving a homeless person change. Look, I'm very sympathetic towards the homeless crisis in our country, and I give money whenever I have it on me. But I've never regarded a person on the street in the same way I would a lost puppy. This woman was just like, "Aw, okay, I guess you can have a coin."
But the girls in the city, they look so pretty.
Yo, this song, also a banger. I love this Bossing Say rendition of Paradise City. Like, I can't believe no one's ever made, like, a Guns N' Roses version of this. Yo, I miss Uncle and the Irohs. When are we getting the band back together?
The lake is so sweet that you really got to meet the girls from Bossing Say.
I like how Iroh doesn't mind doing this humiliating dance for gold, because he doesn't find it humiliating. Like, he knows he's royalty. He knows his worth. So this guy's opinion of him doesn't matter.
Nothing like a fat man dancing for his dinner. Here you go.
Such a kind man.
Oh, never mind. Iroh just be a little dumb sometimes.
Are you noticing now?
Is something wrong?
I know this is gonna sound weird, but I think the swamp is calling to me.
Is it telling you where we can get something to eat?
I think we have to land. The swamp is calling to me. Well, at least the swamp has the meats. Oh wait, that's Arby's. Keep flying, spirit boy! You know in the Ember Isle Players episode, the Sokka's actor makes fun of him by diminishing his character to like a bunch of "I'm hungry" jokes? That's not entirely inaccurate.
Yip, yip.
You better throw in an extra yip. We gotta move.
An extra yip? What are you, crazy? 1 yip, he wakes up. 2, he flies. 3, he eats me. I don't even know what 4 does. I've never made it to 3.
Maybe we should be a little nicer to the swamp.
Aang, these are just plants. Do you want me to say please and thank you as I swing my machete back and forth?
I had no idea that was a machete. I always thought Sokka had a club. You're telling me Sokka's been carrying around a whole-ass sword this entire time and his weapon of choice is a boomerang? I do love the idea of like an ominous living swamp. I know the show isn't going to do anything creepy with this swamp, but season 1 absolutely would have. Book 2 may be the season of saying the word kill, but book 1 was definitely the season of horror.
No, I asked the swamp. It said this was fine. Right, swamp?
No problem, Sokka.
Okay, to this show's credit, this is super suspenseful. It does feel like something fucked up is going to happen. Yeah, never mind. Scrap everything I said. This is definitely sufficiently spooky. I guess I just entirely misremembered this episode. All I remember, like, the Louisiana stereotypes from it. I don't remember this crazy Bloodborne atmosphere or anything.
What'd you reckon make a track like that, though?
Don't know, dude. Something with 6 legs.
Yep, okay, now we're back on track with what I remember.
Leaves a nice wide trail to follow.
You know what's at the end of that trail? Dinner.
Although I guess this is still pretty scary, depending on your perspective.
Mom? Mom! I can't believe...
Jesus Christ, Katara, what are you, blind? You thought that was your mother? The next time you guys are flying, tell Aang to stop at an optometrist. It would have been so much better if there, like, wasn't a stump, because then it'd be like, oh, the swamp's possessing them and making them see stuff. But instead we got Mrs. Magoo over here mistaking a piece of bark for her mom.
Hello? Yue?
Oh, what, is this gonna be a bundle of sticks? This is gonna be a bundle of sticks he accidentally makes out with? Because I won't have that.
I'm going crazy.
You didn't protect me.
This is a chatty bundle of sticks.
Appa! Hello? Who are you?
Oh, hey, Toph. Fancy seeing you here. Do you haunt here often?
Come on now, fellas. Just a little closer. Nice and easy. Nothing to worry about. We just fixing to eat ya.
In what world is Appa the one getting eaten in this scenario? Nobody brought a spear? You're not even gonna try and drown him from that distance? Like, what's the plan when Appa gets near you?
I don't know. I heard laughing and I saw some girl in a fancy dress.
Well, there must be a tea party here, and we just didn't get our invitations.
I love how everyone is just so sick of Sokka at this point. Why don't you ever believe anything anyone ever tells you? Where are all these trust issues coming from? When has anyone lied to you?
Look, I think about her all the time. And you saw Mom, someone you miss a lot.
What about me? I didn't know the girl I saw.
It is weird that Katara and Sokka both saw people that they have like a deep emotional connection to. And Aang saw a girl who almost likes him in the future. Katara's been going hard this whole episode. She's been like firing off water pistols all day. Now that I say that out loud, it doesn't sound as cool as I thought it would. She's shooting water with the intensity of a bullet is what I mean. Yo, Katara's going crazy! This is like the first time after the Pakku fight that she's really displaying how much of a mastery she has over water. Oh my god, speaking of masteries over things, I don't think I've ever seen Appa move this fast. Clearly Momo's been training him in knee bending. Doesn't even go back for Momo. Appa, just sprint towards them. Their little boats are made out of driftwood. There is no way that they win this fight. Gotta love Katara almost accidentally killing this man.
There's someone in there! He's bending the vines!
Gotta love Katara trying to kill this man on purpose.
Why did you call me here if you just wanted to kill us?
Wait! I didn't call you here.
I do want to kill you, though.
Everything is connected.
This is such an out-of-place anime-ass effect. Not like what's happening story-wise is in character with the show. I mean, like, literally the visual effect. Aang looks like he's doing alchemy right now.
Appa!
How about you just, like, ask them if you can have your bison back before you start blasting their skin off their bones? Appa's just like a big animal wandering around in the swamp. You can't blame these guys for putting him in a net. Okay, this dude did not deserve the concussion you just gave him.
Didn't know they was waterbenders anywhere but here. They got a nice swamp there, do they?
No, it's all ice and snow.
No wonder you left.
This guy's putting in the performance of a lifetime. And for what? Yo, I had no idea Zuko stole his dual swords. I'm sure at one point I knew. I must have. But for some reason, I completely forgot that this is how he gets them. For some reason, I just thought he had them. Like, he just brought them with him, or whatever. I never knew they had an origin story. But that's super cool. And that is episodes 3 and 4 of Book 2 of Avatar: The Last Airbender. Honestly, the swamp episode's way better than I remember it being. The episode on the scaffolding, episode 3, like, I knew was sick. It's very good. Any episode that Azula's in is really strong. She's just such a fun, interesting antagonist. And I love her putting her team together while also, like, scaring the shit out of them. But yeah, as always, let me know in the comments what you thought of this video. Let me know what your favorite joke from this video was as well, and what you'd like to see me cover in the future. And I will see you all next time.